My name is Rachel Peterson. I'm 32 years old, and I'm about to tell you the story of how my family used me for 19 years and what happened when I finally stopped letting them. I was 18 years old when I got accepted to the University of Michigan. It was my dream school. I had worked for it my entire life. I had straight A's. I was in the top 5% of my class. I had volunteered at the local hospital. I had tutored children in math. I had done everything they said I needed to do to get in. My parents were proud. Sort of. My mother said, "That's nice, Rachel." My father said, "Good for you." They didn't celebrate. They didn't take me out to dinner. They didn't tell anyone. They just nodded and went back to whatever they were doing. I thought they were just tired. I thought they were just busy. I thought they would come around eventually. They didn't. On my 19th birthday, my mother sat me down at the kitchen table. My father was standing behind her. They both had serious expressions on their faces. "Rachel," my mother said, "we need to talk." She took a deep breath. She said, "We can't afford both of you in college. Your sister is struggling. She's been having a hard time. She needs more support. She needs more time. You've always been the strong one. You'll figure something out." I looked at my father. He nodded. He said, "You can always go back to school later. Your sister needs this chance. She's not as capable as you. She can't do it without help." I said, "But it's my dream. I've worked for this my whole life. I have scholarships. I have financial aid. I can make it work." My mother shook her head. "It's not about the money. It's about what's fair. Your sister needs more help. You don't need as much. You've always been independent. You'll be fine." I said, "But I don't want to drop out. I want to go to college. I want to be a doctor. I've worked so hard." My father said, "Rachel, we've made our decision. You can't go back to school right now. Your sister needs the money. She's going to take your tuition. She's going to go to school instead. You'll have to figure something out." I looked at my sister. She was sitting in the living room watching TV. She didn't look up. She didn't say anything. She just sat there, like she always did. I didn't know then that she had been planning this for months. I didn't know that she had told my parents she wanted to go to college. I didn't know that she had convinced them to take my tuition. I just thought she was lucky. I just thought she was loved. I dropped out that semester. I gave my tuition to my sister. My sister's name was Amanda. She was 2 years younger than me. She had always been the favorite. She got everything I never had. She got new clothes. She got a car. She got allowance. She got everything she wanted without ever having to ask for it. When I dropped out, my mother said, "You're being so generous, Rachel. This means so much to your sister. She's so grateful." My sister didn't say thank you. She didn't even look at me. She just took the money and went to college. She failed out within a year. She spent the money on parties. She spent it on vacations. She spent it on everything except her education. She didn't care. She knew there would always be more. She knew my parents would always find a way to give her more. When she failed out, my mother said, "It's not her fault. She's just not as strong as you. She needs more time. She needs more support." I said, "Mom, she had a year. She had the money. She had everything. She just didn't try." My mother said, "You can't judge her. She's different from you. You're stronger. You can handle things. She can't." I didn't say anything. I didn't argue. I just nodded. I had learned that fighting didn't change anything. I worked 2 jobs for 6 years. I worked at a diner in the morning and a warehouse at night. I slept 4 hours a night. I saved every penny I could. I didn't complain. I didn't ask for help. I didn't call my parents. They didn't call me. They were busy. They were busy with Amanda. They were busy with her life. They were busy making sure she had everything she needed. They didn't have time for me. But I had something they didn't have. I had a reason to succeed. I had a fire that Amanda would never understand. I had been told I wasn't good enough, and I was going to prove everyone wrong. I went back to school when I was 24. I had saved $40,000. I had worked for 6 years. I had given up everything. I had sacrificed everything. And I was going to finish what I started. I graduated at 26. I had straight A's. I was the valedictorian of my class. I gave a speech at graduation. I talked about perseverance. I talked about never giving up. I talked about believing in yourself, even when no one else does. My parents didn't come. They said they were busy. They were helping Amanda. She had gotten herself into another situation. They had to fix it. They didn't have time for me. I was 28 years old when my sister got sick. She had kidney failure. It was serious. She needed a transplant. She needed a donor. She needed someone to give her a kidney. My mother called me. She said, "Rachel, we need to talk." She came to my house. She sat down in my living room. She looked old, tired, stressed. "Rachel," she said, "your sister is dying. She needs a kidney. We need you to get tested. We need you to see if you're a match. We need you to donate." I said, "Mom, I've been waiting for this call." She looked relieved. "Really? You'll do it?" I said, "No, I won't." She stared at me. "What do you mean you won't? Your sister is dying. She needs help. You can save her. Why wouldn't you save her?" I said, "Mom, she took everything from me. She took my tuition. She took my dream. She took my childhood. She took everything. And you gave it to her. You gave her everything. You never gave me anything. And now you want me to give her my kidney?" My mother said, "That was a long time ago. You need to let go of the past. This is different. This is life or death. This is about family. You have to help her." I said, "Mom, I've been helping her my entire life. I helped her by dropping out of college. I helped her by working 2 jobs. I helped her by being the one who didn't matter. I helped her by being the one who didn't get anything. And now you want me to help her by giving her a kidney?" My mother started to cry. She said, "Rachel, please. She's going to die. She needs you. You're the only one who can save her. Please. You're her sister. Please." I said, "Mom, I'm tired. I'm tired of being the one who gives. I'm tired of being the one who sacrifices. I'm tired of being the one who doesn't matter. I'm done. I'm done giving. I'm done sacrificing. I'm done being the one who doesn't matter." 2 weeks later, I got a letter in the mail. It was from a professor named Dr. Margaret Sullivan. She was my professor at the University of Michigan. She had taught me in my senior year. She was the one who had encouraged me to apply for graduate school. I opened the letter. It said, "Dear Rachel, I have been following your career. I have been watching your success. I have been so proud of you. When I heard about your sister's illness, I knew I had to write to you. I want you to know something. I have been keeping something for you for 8 years. It's a letter your grandmother wrote before she died. She gave it to me and asked me to give it to you when the time was right. She said, 'Margaret, my daughter has always been cruel to my granddaughter. She has always favored the other girl. I know one day Rachel will need to know the truth. I want her to know that she is worthy. I want her to know that I see her. I want her to know that she is everything.' I have held on to this letter for 8 years. I am giving it to you now. Read it, know the truth, and know that you are not alone. Yours, Dr. Margaret Sullivan." I opened the letter. It was in my grandmother's handwriting. I recognized it immediately. It was shaky. It was old. It was barely legible, but it was hers. "Dear Rachel, if you're reading this, I'm gone. And I'm sorry I never told you these things while I was alive. I was afraid. I was afraid of your mother. I was afraid of your sister. I was afraid of what they would do. But I need you to know the truth about your family, the truth about your mother, the truth about your sister. Your mother has always favored your sister. I don't know why. I never understood it. You are beautiful. You are smart. You are kind. You are everything a person could want in a daughter. But your mother never saw that. She only saw what she wanted to see. She only saw your sister. She only saw what she wanted to see. When you were born, I held you in my arms. I said, "This one is special. This one is going to do great things." And I was right. You did do great things. You did everything they said you couldn't do. You are a survivor. You are a fighter. You are everything. I want you to know that I love you. I have always loved you. I have never loved anyone as much as I love you. Don't let them take anything else from you. Don't give them anything else. They have taken enough. You have given enough. It's time to stop giving. It's time to take care of yourself. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be seen. I love you, Rachel. I have always loved you. I will always love you. Forever, Grandma. I went to my mother's house. I had the letter in my pocket. I had been carrying it with me for 3 days. I had read it 20 times. I had memorized every word. My mother was in the kitchen. She was cooking dinner. She didn't look up when I walked in. She said, "Rachel, I've been calling you. I left you messages. Why haven't you called me back?" I said, "Mom, we need to talk." She turned around. She saw my face. She knew something was wrong. "What's going on?" I said, "Mom, do you know what I found?" I pulled out the letter. I placed it on the counter. "Grandma wrote me a letter. She wrote it before she died. She gave it to my professor. She asked my professor to give it to me when the time was right." My mother looked at the letter. Her face turned pale. "Where did you get that?" I said, "Mom, I know the truth. I know you always favored Amanda. I know you always gave her everything. I know you always took from me. I know everything." My mother said, "Rachel, you're being dramatic. You always were dramatic. It wasn't like that. We loved you. We loved you just as much as we loved her." I said, "Mom, you didn't love me. You loved what I could give you. You loved that I was strong. You loved that I could carry everything. You loved that I didn't complain. You loved that I could be used." My mother said, "That's not true. That's not how it was." I said, "Mom, it's exactly how it was. I dropped out of college because you told me to. I gave my tuition to Amanda. I worked 2 jobs for 6 years. I gave everything I had. And you never gave anything back. You never said thank you. You never said you were proud of me. You never said anything." My mother said, "I didn't know. I didn't realize. I thought you were happy. I thought you were fine." I said, "Mom, I wasn't happy. I wasn't fine. I was struggling. I was exhausted. I was alone. And you didn't care." My sister got a kidney from a donor. It wasn't from me. I didn't give her mine. She found someone else, a distant cousin, a stranger, someone who didn't know her history, someone who didn't know what she had done. She survived. She recovered. She went back to her life. She acted like nothing had happened. She never apologized. She never said thank you. She just went back to being Amanda. My parents called me. They said, "Rachel, your sister is better. She survived. We want to have a family dinner. We want you to come." I said, "Mom, I'm not coming." She said, "Rachel, please. We're a family. We need to heal. We need to come together. You need to forgive your sister. You need to move on." I said, "Mom, I have moved on. I moved on when I realized that you would never change. I moved on when I realized that you would never see me. I moved on when I realized that I would never matter to you the way Amanda matters to you." She said, "Rachel, that's not true. You matter to us. We love you. We've always loved you." I said, "Mom, I've heard that before, and I believed you, and I was wrong. I'm not wrong anymore. I'm not coming to the dinner. I'm not coming to any dinner. I'm not coming to anything. I'm done. I'm done pretending. I'm done sacrificing. I'm done being the one who doesn't matter." She was silent. She didn't know what to say. I said, "Mom, I'm not your daughter anymore. Not really. Not anymore. I'm a person who survived, a person who built a life, a person who doesn't need you. I don't need any of you. I moved to a different city. I got a different job. I built a different life. I made new friends. I found new family. I found people who loved me for who I was, not for what I could give them. I never went back to my parents' house. I never went back to my sister's life. I never saw any of them again. I gave my grandmother's letter to my niece. She was 16. She was the only one in my family who had ever been kind to me. I told her the truth. I told her what her grandmother had done. I told her what her mother had done. I told her what her family had done. I said, "You don't have to be like them. You can be different. You can be better. You can be the person who stands up for what's right. You can be the person who doesn't let anyone use you. You can be the person who matters." She said, "Thank you, Aunt Rachel. I'll try." If you've ever been the one your family used and discarded, I want you to hear something. You don't owe them anything. You don't owe them your time. You don't owe them your money. You don't owe them your body. You don't owe them your future. They took enough. You gave enough. It's time to stop. You are not their safety net. You are not their bank account. You are not their donor. You are your own person, and you deserve to live your life on your own terms. My name is Rachel Peterson. I'm 32 years old. I stopped giving, and I started living. If this story made you feel something, drop a comment below. Tell me the word that describes what you feel. Share this video with someone who needs to hear they're not alone. Subscribe for more stories like this. Thank you for listening to mine.